Hello guys, and welcome to another video with me, Razor. Now guys, I know I've been away for a while, and you guys are probably thinking that I may be giving up making videos on YouTube for Shadow Priest. That will never happen, guys. I just need to let you know that I will always love my Shadow Priest, despite what is happening at the moment in the situation with our class and with our spec. This video will be going into that, guys, so it is a bit of a discussion today. It's just basically to try to, first of all, let you guys know what I think is going on, and also what's in the future for us as Shadow Priests, and where we're going to be hopefully in the next expansion. Now guys, before I go on, I also want to let you know that I'm making this video because I want to create as much support as possible to be able to get the changes hopefully made by Blizzard. This may be successful, may not be successful, you know, but it's worth a try, and to try and actually raise some awareness, and to try and let these guys, let the devs know that we are not comfortable with what's going on with the Shadow Priest at the moment. This is what this video is going to be going into. So to start off, guys, I just want to say that I've been going into a lot of forums. I've been looking at so many different opinions across the board from various different people who have re-rolled. I have seen, unfortunately, a lot of people who have re-rolled, a lot less Shadow Priests out there. It is really disappointing. People say that we are a hybrid class. We are a hybrid class, of course, but that's not the point. You know, we are a DPS class at the same time, and to, let's say, put us on par with the rest of the DPS, we need to be doing something that's equivalent, at least equivalent to other DPS damage, and we also need to be doing, in terms of PvP, somewhere near the same in terms of resourcefulness, in terms of the mobility, and also in terms of the CC that we provide. At the moment, you know, it feels, I'm sure every Shadow Priest out there will agree in some way, it feels like we are hindered, so we are actually weak in almost all those areas. Probably damage the least. Our damage I don't have a problem with at the moment, not as much as everything else. So where do I start? I mean, first of all, let's just start with the fact that they took away our Master Spell. Master Spell was something that a priest was iconic for. It was something that you thought of when you thought of a priest, and that's now been taken away. 1.2 second cast, you know, basically any healer can top off a paladin who bubbles, or a mage who blocks within that time. It's just absolutely ridiculous. The next thing we're looking at, guys, is obviously our off hills have been greatly nerfed as well. You know, we used to be going from doing some fairly decent like, you know, so fairly decent flash of lights to a very, very weak. I mean, to be honest, a lot of people are saying at the moment that we are probably one of the weakest classes for healing or off healing as a Shadow Priest. Now, we have got some abilities like Vampiric Embrace that can be very helpful, but really, how helpful can they be in PvP? This is some issue that needs to really be addressed. To be a hybrid class with 2 healing specs, the only class in the game to have 2 healing specs, 2 healing trees, 1 DPS tree, we should really be the most powerful healers. We should be a tanky type of spec, tanky type of class, as opposed to being a really easy class to just, you know, maneuver around and just counter in every single way, especially when we're talking about melee. You know, the other one, major nerf, which I have no complete understanding for, and I don't know why this was taken, I don't know who or what they were drinking at the time when this was decided. They removed the damage buff from our Shadow form. Now, you might say, some of you out there, oh yeah, but they put in the trinkets. But everybody gets a trinket, and most other classes do still get damage mitigation. Why is it that only Shadow Priest had it removed? And how was it compensated? It was compensated by adding more armor, which we don't need. Armor which is bypassed by a lot of burst abilities that other classes have, especially when it comes to melee. And at the same time, we were given nothing really in return. The armor increase goes up by, I mean, this was calculated and I did test it. The armor increase goes up by 11% to physical schools only. So this is only against physical damage, as opposed to having 15%, which is 4% more to every single type of damage in the game. Now, why would they swap this for, and you know, why would they remove it and completely nerf it to the ground and then replace it by something so useless, in my opinion? Now, moving on. Of course, they removed our voice shift, guys, as well, from arenas and rated battlegrounds. This is the level 87 ability that every single class in the game right now has, and every single class in the game can use within arenas and rated battlegrounds, including, for example, such abilities as Symbiosis, which is quite OP as well, which gives you extra dispersions and extra bubbles and extra abilities that druids yes, they're making use of, but really they have got a wide school of abilities that they can make use of already. So, you know, comparing that to a Void Shift only literally, you know, it was a healer save really, but then how much, you know, how much did it really affect the game? Did it really make us overpowering? I don't think so. Not according to the tables and the ratings. Now, the other thing that we have, obviously, is our only stun ability, or horrify ability, which actually consumes every single bit of resource that we so desperately rely on at this point in the game, which takes a long time to actually build up compared to other classes, if we're comparing it to, for example, rogues or whatever. Now, for us to build an orb, we have to cast a Mind Blast, which has an 8-second cooldown, and then we have to cast it again and again and again, and obviously you have to consider cast time as well, and depending on haste. But you're looking at about 18 to 24 second time period when you will be able to, without Divine Insight, recuperate those orbs when you're using your shadow, your psychic horror. Now, your psychic horror doesn't, in my opinion, need to, it doesn't need to use all of your orbs, but it does. Sometimes when you have full orbs and you want to burst, but you need desperately to have CC, you have to blow everything to get that 3 or 4 seconds. And of course, how effective is really a disarm? I mean, it costs so much for us. It costs all our orbs, all our bursts, all our damage. How effective is it? Well, actually 60% less effective when it comes to weapon chains, because, and you can't of course, you know, disarm warrior nowadays in Bladestorm, so it makes it even less effective when you're considering melee. Now, taking all that into consideration, I really don't know what they're trying to do with the Shadow Priest, but it really has hit rock bottom at the moment in 5.4, and I thought in 5.4.2 there will be some kind of change, but no, nothing has come about. And of course, guys, if you remember back in days when Vampiric Embrace was literally just like a buff, which did a lot more than it does now. It didn't have a hefty cooldown of 3 minutes. And of course that has been taken away as well. Now, obviously they removed Halo, and it was nerfed to the ground, to again rock bottom. It wasn't even, you know, considered as a bit strong, so they nerfed it, or nerfed it 1 stage, or nerfed it 2 stages. They completely just wiped it off the board. I know it used to take stealthies out of stealth, but really, did it need to be nerfed all the way down? You know, we don't have any other ability right now apart from Mind Seer to actually break stealth, and we needed that because it gave us a little bit of an upper hand. And of course, rogues have a counter to that. They don't break, you know, with the right abilities. I believe they don't break until 3 seconds after they've actually been taken damage. So they always have ways around it. And it's the same for the massively overpowered at the moment, in my opinion, Feral Druids with their healing and with their you know, amazing amount of dots damage. Is it really overpowering? You know, it could have been cut down to even 10 yards, in my opinion. Now, Siphon's HP. Guys, I don't know if you remember, but I made a video about this where I said Siphon's HP has gone down to 10k, 11k HP. That's ridiculous. This is basically less than a Shaman's Totem, and Shamans usually drop 4 of those. We have 1, and it has a very important role, and it's a very long cooldown. Well, as far as CCs go, it's a very long cooldown. 45 seconds, and we put it down, and what happens? It gets taken down in one shot. That's it. It gets taken down in 1 shot. I don't know if it seems fair to you guys, but it's just a complete waste of a cooldown for me, and hardly any Shadow Priest at the moment will go for it. Right, my final thoughts on this, guys. I'm really interested in seeing exactly where this is going to be going. I mean, the voice shift out of arenas is just, you know, kind of plain retarded to me, if I'm honest. As I was saying, because all other classes have their 87 ability, and yeah, I do know that Shadow Priests were the most healer-saving class, as I was mentioning before. But at the moment, we can really do nothing. The utility has completely gone down, and you know, if someone actually dispels our dots, you know, for example, dispels our disease or dispels our magic, the only way that we can actually survive, the only way we can actually get some more, for example, mana, and obviously I don't even want to go into the fact that we are so bad on mana at the moment, but the only way we can get it back is to blow 2 major cooldowns, which is obviously our Dispersion and our Siphon, and it just seems like we've been absolutely left aside on the board. We are no longer a key player according to Blizzard, and if they think that at the moment we are okay, or we are a playable class, I urge each and every single one of you guys who will watch this video to play a Shadow Priest right now and come up against a decent, equally leveled, equally geared warrior or rogue or monk or feral, and see how exactly you plan to actually I don't know, win an arena, or even win in a duel. Because it seems at the moment that it's absolutely, you know, it takes a very, very skilled player to play a Shadow Priest at the moment, and to play it well. And at the same time, it is still so difficult to actually be able to, you know, be victorious and actually win. I'm sure you guys seen my videos from the past in 5.3. I had a lot of fun during other classes, and I am a very experienced Shadow Priest, so I was able to actually, you know, take advantage of a lot of people who didn't know how Shadow Priests worked. At the moment, it seems like it doesn't even matter whether you know Shadow Priests and how they work or not. It's simply all about doing enough damage to you. Once dispersion is over, they pretty much can just take you out. And that's it. That's the only real ability that we have that actually can, you know, for actual damage, it can mitigate some damage for us. There isn't really another survival ability that we have that is as important and as majorly as dispersion is. So in arena, you know, you basically get followed around by warriors, and then eventually you get trained enough that you're going to be dying. And if you think that, you know, you're going to be using dispersion, or you can use your bubble after battle fatigue, after they use their own kind of healing, reducing abilities wherever they are. I mean, a lot of them do have it, a lot of classes. Once all of that is put on you, if you think you're going to be using your bubble effectively, and then being able to actually use, for example, Geist or something like that at the same time, then you are having an absolute laugh. In my opinion, at the moment, Shadow Priest is kind of dead. It's a bit of a joke at the moment what's happened to it. I really thought that with enough gear we will be back up there. Fortunately, I was very much mistaken. I've never really seen Shadow Priest work in this way before. Unfortunately, it seems like I don't know what the plan is. That's what I really want to know. And I really urge you guys to be out there and use every piece of resource that you have. Go on the forums, raise awareness, tell Blizzard that this is not okay. Read other people's comments. There is a lot of comments out there on the forums. Even if you want to go on Twitter and talk to the developers themselves, you can do. Raise your views and see hopefully a change coming. I really did want to see a change before Warlords of Draenor came about. If that's going to be something, I don't think that's going to be you know, possible, to be honest, because at the moment it just doesn't seem to have gone that way. Because even the minor patch that we had, 5.4.2, even that didn't see any changes whatsoever to Priest, which just seems to me like Blizzard is either completely ignoring every single Shadow Priest out there, or Priest in general, or they just seem to think that it's okay. But I do really urge them, if one of them is going to watch this video, or if somebody else will watch it and pass it on, I do urge you to play a Shadow Priest and see how you fare against a warrior or a melee of another class. Finally, guys, I want to say I am back. I've been off for a little bit, yeah, but I am going to be making more videos. I've actually already got recordings, so I'm just going to be posting them hopefully very soon, continuing the guide. I think I'm going to be doing the next class for Paladins. So stay tuned for that. Thank you so much for all the support, and I've seen a lot of messages since I've been back, so I'll get answering those and hopefully continue this series, and we'll be strong, and hopefully we'll see a lot of improvements in the coming expansion, and hopefully maybe we'll, you know, fingers crossed, even before then. And I never want to re-roll. I mean, this is what I love playing, this is how I like playing, and I love the way that Shadow Priests have developed over the years. But really, we are in need of some change, definitely, and hopefully making these videos and raising awareness on the forums with you guys, with the support of you guys, we can come to that, and we can make those changes and make our spec and our class a lot more fun to play again. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope you guys enjoyed it, and take care. I'll see you very soon.